top stories in the papers this Thursday. The Nation is leading, well, the lead story on The Nation, that is on the federal government promising living wage as NLC demands 615,000 naira. With NLC saying that the minimum wage payment is to be backdated to April, when the old regime of minimum wage expired. TUC also issues ultimatum on electricity tariff hike. And there are splash of riders, Oshomole canvassing Labour's push for productive economy, First Lady charging workers to be source of prosperity, governors pledging respect for agreed minimum wage, and, so much more. It was a busy day across the country. Governors and, of course, at the federal level, it was all, dedicated to the welfare of the Nigerian worker. Other stories, though, on the front page of The Nation reads, thus payment of 2.75 billion naira to property owners on Lagos-Calabar Road begins. Jubilation as Transportation Minister flags off Port Harcourt-Aba train service, and family head 6 PD Olubado coronation at meeting with Ladoja. On the front page of the Daily Times, Tinubu to workers, your days of worrying are over, says expect not only minimum wage but living wage, and sues for industrial peace, harmony and unity. May Day, bold leadership required to steer Nigeria towards recovery, says NLC, criticizes economic policies as well as floating of naira and borrowing to bridge forex gap, says federal government must reevaluate its policies, prioritize people's welfare, support local industries, and demands immediate reversal of the electricity tariff hike. How to check bullying in schools, that's opposer educationists, proffer solutions. The multinational joint task force intensifies operation to eliminate Boko Haram ISWAP in Lake Chad. Despite delay, new national minimum wage to take effect April the 1st this year, says Labour Minister. All right, and of course, still on Daily Times, my administration has recruited more than 5,000 workers in the past 7 years. That's from the Edo State Governor. Daily Independent says President Tinubu expresses more concern in living wage than minimum wage. Sanwo-Olu promises to pay new minimum wage approved by FG. Tough times will end soon, Akpabio assures Nigerians. NLC TUC gives FG 1 week to reverse electricity tariff hike, ignores FG's salary increase, borrowing foreign currency to defend naira, short-sighted approach. EFCC violated rights of Yaya's children, Yaya Bello's children. That's according to Kogi Youth, who also vowed to petition the NHRC. All right. Tinubu was misled in suspension of Igwe as medical director, and a host of other stories on the front page of Daily Independent. First News says your days of worrying are over. That's from President Tinubu to the Nigerian worker. Bayelsa government says it's ready to pay new minimum wage ahead. Okay, another reaction there following Workers' Day celebrated yesterday. COP slams Tinubu's administration, calls the government a catastrophic failure. New minimum wage takes effect from May the 1st, 2024. Reps call for crackdown on fuel hoarders amidst persistent scarcity. We can't get anything right until workers are being looked after. That's from Peter Obi. On the front page of Nigerian News Direct, May Day celebration, your days of worrying are over. That is one big takeaway from the May the 1st celebration yesterday. NLC, though, demanding new minimum wage, which it has put at 615,000 naira, and urges federal government to act. 250,000 naira per annum. Lagos State government uncovers 86 illegal rooms, and that's the cost of those illegal rooms, 250,000 naira per annum, container used for criminal activities under Ikoyi Bridge. Coastal project, FG included illegal occupants in payments of claims, says Dave Umahi, Minister of Works. South governors urge FG to review power transmission. Blueprint says your new minimum wage takes effect May the 1st. NLC rejects 35% pay rise, warns on ongoing negotiation. I won't take your support patience for granted, says Tinubu. Denmark backs UNODC launches 2.4 billion naira Bielsa security initiative, with Governor Diri hailing the EU support. O2 raises workers' salary to 40,000 naira. Sani launches 50 or 500 million naira loan scheme. And naira depreciates against the dollar by 5.8% in the month of April. Let's check out the Punch now. FG Labour talks deadlocked. NLC defends its demand of 615,000 naira. Tinubu says government unions failed to reach consensus, assures workers of living minimum wage. FG frustrated negotiation. Of course, it's a back and forth between the NLC, TUC, and the federal government in the talks from the tripartite committee. Fuel scarcity, FG plans 15-day emergency fuel supply. FG gives fresh conditions for gas license. Government folds landmark title, begins 2.7 billion naira compensation payment. Agric imports go up 12 trillion naira despite 9-year anchor borrowers scheme. Now, school mourns 14-year-old British Nigerian killed in London sword attack. A real sad one there. That's all from me. Over to you.
All right, so we go to Salient Times this morning, and it talks about your worries now over. Living wage to be announced soon, that Tinubu tells workers. No minimum wage by end of May, no peace, says Labour. Living wage should be 615,000 naira. Federal government pays 35% pay increase mischievous, as Ajero. Why increase in minimum wage won't worsen inflation, says TUC. Biggest mess created in 2023 was the valuation of the naira, says Dangote. Enugu 16 days bus rammed into university fence. And Lagos Calabar Highway, Peter Obi inciting Igbo against federal government, says Umahi. This and many more in the Salient Times newspapers this morning. We'll move to The Guardian. Labour demands inflation-proof pay, frequent wage review. Minimum wage takes back seat in Kano Kwara as NLC marks May Day. Telco loses irregular levy, remittance threatens NCC's 549 billion naira target. PDP chides Ayedatiwa for budgeting 5 billion naira to renovate daycare centers. Super Eagles, how to support indigenous coaches to grow, win laurels, as the news analysis there. Workers may wary as federal government assures on May 1st date for new minimum wage. That's in the Guardian newspaper this morning. The leadership says here, May Day amid hardship. Labour makes fresh demands for workers' welfare. Mining areas record rise in out-of-school children, says reports. Ignore candidates party 2024 UTME printed results, says JAM. We find Dangote fuel now expected in July. Benue to launch own security outfit in May, says Governor Alia. Naira rebounds, gains 28.15 against the dollar. Fuel scarcity, queues only temporary, says Reps. There's a many more in the leadership newspaper this morning. We move to the Vanguard. May Day, Labour gives federal government May 31st deadline on minimum wage. Banks close. Banks close 2 million accounts of BVN, NI, and others. Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. Federal government begins 275 billion naira compensation to property owners. Of course, we have more in the Vanguard newspaper. The New Telegraph says here, Labour gives federal government May deadline, says 35% salary increase, not minimum wage. Bode George, Wunkelu, others begin reconciliation in Lagos PDP. Say party has potential to win 2027 Guba. Nigerian Peace Corps establishment bill passes first reading in Senate. This Nigeria says Labour demands 615,000 naira minimum wage, gives federal government May 31st deadline to effect payments. Describes 35% pay rise as mischievous, calls for immediate reversal of electricity tariff hike, Tinubu says we're committed to workers' welfare. OT rejects NPC's previous population figure on Abia. The valuation of the Naira created biggest mess in 2023, says Dangote. Daily Trust says, pay labor to federal government on Workers' Day. Pay us 615,000 Naira minimum wage or face showdown. Demands electricity tariff reversal. We're considering living wage, says Tinubu. Governors promise better welfare for workers. The Platform's Time says, mothers resort to poisoning children with intellectual disabilities in Ogun amidst hardship. Talks have begun on its intervention underway. Israel-Iran crisis aggravates fuel scarcity in Nigeria, says Ipman. Business Day, pension funds bet big on equities with 550 billion naira outlay in Q1 as investment hits 2.32 trillion naira in March. And finally, in sporting life, brothers at war as Roma hosts Leverkusen tonight. Boniface targets goal number 19 to help Bayern increase 46-game unbeaten record. Tammy Abraham has another goal against German. Pinnick, I didn't force Finidi on NFF. That's in the sporting life. Of course, Sunday Lisa reveals that Lukman is unstoppable. And Calvin Bassey nominated for Fulham Player of the Month. This and many more in the Sporting Life newspaper this morning.
Right, and those are the top stories across some of the major Nigerian newspapers this Thursday. And of course, as you must have been following, the most prominent of these stories happen to be several takeaways from the celebration of the International Workers' Day. Of course, Nigeria wasn't left out. It's always a big event here in Nigeria. Governments of the day at state and the federal level would, have celebrations in honor of the Nigerian worker. First News is saying for the Nigerian worker, it's been a tale after tale of struggle and resilience. And here we are now with this talk about what is a living wage? What is that living wage that is due to the average worker? And that's what we will be talking about. As you have seen, there's been a deadlock now. Federal government, organized private sector saying this is what they have. Organized labor, on the other hand, saying this is what they want. So what happens now? We will be bringing in a guest